Manchester United bombshell transfer that could change and bring glory back to Old Trafford on deadline day. Hey football fans, welcome back to United News. Big transfer updates today. Manchester United is in the headlines once again as they're making waves in the January deadline transfer window day. Mathys agrees to join Man United over Premier League rivals, but Red Devils are yet to have loan bid accepted by Bayern Munich for £50 million star. Tell is reportedly set to join Ruben Amorim's side as the transfer deadline nears. Mathys is leaning towards moving to Manchester United before the transfer window closes on Monday. The 19-year-old Stars club Bayern Munich have not yet accepted their loan proposal, however, and Premier League rivals Arsenal are also still in the mix. United faced stiff competition from a host of Premier League sides for the £50 million Frenchman, with Chelsea, Tottenham, Aston Villa and Arsenal among the clubs to have made inquiries. But according to Sky Germany, it's the Red Devils that have been able to win the 19-year-old over and are now on the verge of securing his services, just over 24 hours out from the winter transfer deadline. Having agreed terms with the player, United now need to reach an agreement with Bayern. The Bavarian Giants have already rejected a loan offer from the club, reportedly not satisfied with what was on the table. Bayern are instead said be pushing for a permanent transfer away for Tell and will only consider a loan if it includes an obligation to buy. Mathys has reportedly chosen Manchester United as his next club as he departs Bayern. United are now locked in negotiations with the German Giants after seeing a loan offer rejected. United will look to act quickly to get a deal over the line, with Arsenal reportedly still in contact with Bayern over the player. Playing time was critical for Tell in deciding his next employer, with his decision to call it quits at Bayern coming after falling out of favor under manager Vincent Kompany. United appear to be able to offer this, anticipating the imminent departures of Marcus Rashford and potentially Alejandro Garnacho before tomorrow's deadline. Firepower up front also remains a problem for Ruben Amorim, who has been lumbered with two relics of the Erik ten Hag regime during his early stint at Old Trafford. As such, Tell's arrival could see Joshua Zirkzee and Rasmus Højlund drop even further down the pecking order, having both been left out of United's 2-0 home defeat to Crystal Palace on Sunday, which saw Amorim opt to use Kobbie Mainoo as a false nine. Tell has been a Bayern player since August 2022, when he arrived from Rennes for £25 million. He has scored 16 goals in his first 83 appearances for the Bundesliga Giants but has spent a lot of time on the bench. 5 incoming and outgoing Man United transfers that could happen on deadline day, including international winger. Deadline day is here and, if you're Manchester United, could be one of the most hectic days of the year. Despite already signing Patrick Dorgu from Lecce and Aiden Heaven from Arsenal, the Red Devils could yet be one of the country's busiest clubs. After Crystal Palace handed United their 11th Premier League defeat on Sunday, Ruben Amorim knows he has to turn results around, and quickly. The United manager now has less than 24 hours left before the mid-season window slams shut, so will be pushing Sir Jim Ratcliffe to make at least one more signing. Ideally an attacking one, but there could also be some outgoings. Let's take a look at what players could come and go before tonight's deadline. Leon Bailey, IN. Aston Villa have reached an agreement to sign Marcus Rashford, which has opened the door for Leon Bailey to move the other way in a separate deal. United could make a late approach for Bailey in a deal that could see the Jamaica international join on loan. Mathys IN. The Mathys saga looks like it is going to rumble on to the final minutes of the window. Tell is open to joining United, but the Red Devils have so far struggled to reach an agreement with Bayern Munich. Although a deadline deal is still some way off, expect to see some more twists and turns as today goes on. Christopher Nkunku, IN. If talks to sign Tell don't progress, United could pursue Chelsea's Christopher Nkunku. Nkunku is a backup option for Tell and a player who could make the switch to Old Trafford before the cutoff. Tyrell Malaysia out. Tyrell Malaysia looked like joining Benfica before the deal collapsed. Although he won't be joining Benfica on loan, Malaysia is still one who could leave United before tonight's deadline. Casemiro out. Although an outsider to leave Old Trafford before the deadline, any offer for Casemiro will be seriously considered. Al Nassr were linked with Casemiro earlier in the window. It remains to be seen if they, or any other club, will make a late approach though. Manchester United really interested in signing incredible finisher after recent transfer meeting. Manchester United are still chasing attacking additions on transfer deadline day, but one top summer target may already be emerging. Here we go. The final day of the January transfer window is here. Manchester United were quiet to begin with, but completed 2 signings over the weekend. Teenage defender Aiden Heaven joined from Arsenal on Saturday, finalizing a switch from the Emirates Stadium. United followed that up by signing Patrick Dorgu as the Danish left wing-back arrived from Lecce. That may not be the end of the business, but one United target would surely only be arriving in the summer rather than on deadline day. Manchester United want exciting Premier League striker. A striker will be a priority for United, with Marcus Rashford completing his move to Aston Villa. Mathys wants to join United, but a late move from Bayern Munich looks complicated at best. The Mirror, February 2nd, p69. Report that United are interested in signing Ipswich Town's Liam Delap. It's claimed that United discussed moving for Delap in a transfer meeting just last week, and he is now considered a top target at Old Trafford. Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox were at Manchester City during Delap's development there and seemingly still love him. We can't see Ipswich letting Delap go on deadline day though, with the striker surely one for the summer instead. Delap has hit 9 goals in 23 Premier League games this season, emerging as a real star striker for the Tractor Boys. Ipswich's survival hopes are slim, but Delap is their main hope, and any deadline day exit surely won't be materializing. What Ruben Amorim got wrong as Man United embarrassed at home by Crystal Palace. Manchester United faced defeat at Old Trafford as Ruben Amorim's positional changes failed to make a difference against a strong Crystal Palace side. Ruben Amorim's plans failed dramatically against Crystal Palace. Manchester United were defeated once again at Old Trafford as Crystal Palace took advantage of Ruben Amorim's failed formation. Amorim's master plan to play Kobbie Mainoo at centre-forward failed dramatically as United were unable to score in their 2-0 defeat to Palace. It looked to be a moment of desperation for the Red Devils boss, with £100 million worth of strikers on the bench. The opening goal was scored when a Palace free-kick was sent to the back post and met the towering Maxence Lacroix. A nodded header onto the crossbar conveniently landed into the path of Jean-Philippe Mateta. A napping Harry Maguire was unable to put a block in, and it was an easy finish for the Eagles player. Mateta picked up his second when Maguire played the Palace attack onside in the 89th minute, and it was a simple 2-on-1. Onana was helpless and the Frenchman closed the game out. The latest defeat in Amorim's Red Devils saga pulls United further into the bottom half of the Premier League table as Palace leapfrog them. Daily Star Sport has taken a look at what Amorim got wrong against Crystal Palace. Mainoo looked uncomfortable. Kobbie Mainoo played centre-forward today. Kobbie Mainoo has been one of United's strongest players since his breakthrough debut last season. His technical ability, passing awareness and strength has made him a rock in the midfield under both Ruben Amorim and Erik ten Hag. Amorim tried something new with Mainoo today. He played the 19-year-old in a centre-forward position. Although the Portuguese manager's position changes have worked well for players like Amad Diallo, it didn't work for Mainoo today. He wasn't able to properly challenge the Palace defense and didn't have the dominant presence you want from a centre-forward. During his 70 minutes on the pitch, Mainoo wasn't able to do anything. He belongs in the middle where he is best. Can't get an early goal. Man United continue to struggle for a first-half goal. This was the 18th game this season where United have failed to score in the first half. Even though they had won 4 in their last 5 in all competitions before facing Palace, they could have won those games far more comfortably if they were able to grab an early goal. Instead, the Old Trafford faithful often find themselves entering the second half with a few more nerves, knowing they have to find a winner in 45 minutes. It isn't like the United of old where they would capitalize on teams from the get-go. So, despite their strong desire, they still need to find a way to get the ball in the back of the net much quicker. When they fail to do so, teams like Palace can capitalize. Harry Maguire far from his best. Harry Maguire couldn't handle Mateta. Maguire had a couple of scary moments in the game. One instance saw him clumsily try and clear a simple ball that rebounded off the head of Palace winger Daniel Munoz and almost rolled into the United net. It was the Palace goal where the England defender was far from his best. A Palace corner which bounced off the crossbar landed right next to Maguire. Unfortunately, It seemed the 31-year-old was napping as Matita, who was stood beside him, easily knocked it in for the opening goal. Maguire then failed to learn from his mistakes as he was at fault for the second Eagles goal when he played their attack onside, allowing them to finish off the game. Started Garnacho during transfer woes. Garnacho is linked to Chelsea and Napoli. Alejandro Garnacho has been a frequent name dotted around during the winter transfer window. Chelsea and Napoli both were linked to a permanent move for the 20-year-old. With all this happening and still at such a young age, it is sure to take a toll on the Argentinian winger. It was always going to be a risk for Amorim to play him. Unfortunately, Garnacho didn't at all look up for it today. He didn't seem to have the usual spark or fire that the youngster often carries the squad with. Couldn't control Matita. Matita celebrates in front of the Crystal Palace fans. Jean-Philippe Matita has had a fantastic season so far. After a slow start, he has notched 10 goals in 23 Premier League games, making the Frenchman a clear target for the Red Devils' defense to close down. The United backline were unable to do this today as the 27-year-old scored one of the easiest braces of his career. A simple tap-in for his first goal, and a squared pass leaving an open net allowed him to add a second. United had once again left it too late in the game to score their own goals, so when Palace took their chances, it was an easy route out for the Eagles. Stay tuned as we break down all the latest rumors and what they mean for United's future. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for all the freshest updates on your favorite club. Let's dive into it.